Yeah, it looks like the spring that never was is starting to be an is. Wow, finally a decent day. Yeah. They fired the head coach today. I'm thinking of applying. I couldn't do worse. Yeah, okay. Let's see it. Hey, welcome to Season 7, Episode 10 of Niagara 411 Live with Sterry. We are brought to you by Grantham Home Hardware, supported by, look at this special, but supported by Verge Insurance. Go ahead, ladies, pass your way by. Ooh, that looks good. There they are. Those are your specialities right there. We are executively produced by WeeStreem, Canada's premier streaming service. We are ensconced here in the wonderful Fiddler's Poorhouse at 149 St. Paul Street in downtown St. Catharines. And as I was saying off the top, finally it looks like maybe we got a bit of spring starting from the spring that never was. Holy cow. Another pile of rain last night? Jeez. It was, we haven't been able to get dry for a while. I hope your lawn's doing okay. Well, I guess it's okay if you're seeding your lawn because you got a nice moisture start to the season. Coming up on the program today, we have, I say this every week. I say we have a couple of interesting things. Everything we do every week is interesting. I don't know why I keep repeating myself. But Kevin had an interesting experience over the last week as we head toward the World Cup here in North America. It's a first. It's going to be interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about the World Cup coming here. I think it's probably fabulous for those people that are really big on the sport and good for tourism, et cetera. All I know is I don't want to be anywhere near all the traffic that's going on. But it's a pretty cool thing that's happening here in Niagara. We got a lot of stuff going on today, and we're going to be back in just about 30 seconds. Thank you. And here we are, ladies and germs. We are Season 7, Episode 10 of Niagara 411 Live with Sterry. And as I was talking about off the top, the big news today, and you know, I don't pretend that hockey is on top of mind of everybody, but the Toronto Maple Leafs is a story that is going to be told for generations before and generations to come, because it truly is one of the most interesting, and I hate this word, but I'm going to use it anyway because it applies in this case, iconic and mysterious stories in the world of professional sports. One of the most financially successful franchises in history of any sports, yet alone the hockey league. But it just goes on and on and on, and they lose and they lose and they lose, and they have stars, etc. Well, the new news today, after they rejigged their head office a couple weeks ago, Craig Bobby was blown out.
Bobby?
Beebe?
Baruby.
A Ruby, yeah,
sure,
what the
something
hell?
like that. I
don't know him.
News.
I never knew the guy, so pardon me for mispronouncing your name, but you don't matter anymore because you just got fired. So Kevin, you're the hockey dude here in this duet that we do every week. What the hell is going on with this organization? Can't we just blow it up? I guess they've tried to blow it up and they're starting again. But I mean, honest to God, Kevin, one of the most successful financially hockey teams in history, and they still put bums in seats, and they still charge a crap load of money for tickets, and they make tons and tons of money, but they never win. Like, what the hell is going on, really?
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing, Lee.
It is embarrassing. It's stupid.
It's very embarrassing. So let me get myself on the screen here.
Yeah, there you go. Like, I mean, come on, really? I don't. To be perfectly honest, and this is no secret, this is no state secret, I don't give a crap about hockey. I never did. But Kevin, on the other hand, is like he's on the other side of the scale. We're two sides of the same coin. I'm a hockey, he is a hockey addict. So, but here we go. So now I turn it over to you. What the hell is going on with this team?
I mean, they're just driving themselves deeper into the grave.
Jesus.
I am not looking forward to the next 5 to 10 years
It's so
of being a
annoying.
Toronto. The last decade was actually pretty good, as much as they failed in the playoffs. What I'm looking at the 10 years ahead, save the fact that they do have the first overall pick. So, hey, you know what? They bring in new management, and they win the lottery, Lee. So I'll give them that. But then today, after saying that they were not going to fire...
They blow it.
After saying they were not going to fire Craig Berube, they turn around and they fire their head coach, who I think has 2 years remaining on his contract. But hey, money's nothing to the Toronto Maple Leafs. The question is, who do you bring in that has a Stanley Cup resume like head coach Craig Berube? And
2 years,
perfectly honest,
2 years on his contract. I don't know what his contract was, but it had to be at least a couple $1 million.
Substantial. Yeah, he was getting paid a lot.
Yeah. So now he can relax all summer
do
long.
nothing.
And enjoy himself by the pool. Go to Europe on a vacation because they just paid him his nice severance, and he'll never have to work again if he doesn't want to.
Right, I'll bet you if you ask Craig Berube, they just did him a favor.
Oh, absolutely.
Get me the hell out of this mess.
Absolutely, they did him a favor.
Get me out of this mess. Bring somebody else here and have him be the scapegoat. But I'm tired of doing it. Now, Lee, the local connection is here. So John Chayka, who is the new general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, he made this announcement today that they fired Craig Berube. And John Chayka, former general manager of the Arizona Coyotes.
But what is he, 14 years old?
About that, 36, and look where he was born. Jordan Station. Guy grew up in Beamsville.
How do you get born in Jordan Station?
Ran into a guy, well, I don't think you do, but
Is there
you probably go down to the Grimsby Hospital.
There's no obstetric division.
There's a bathtub, Lee. There's always a bathtub.
Or you get born at the Jordan Hotel, I guess. Like, how do you get born at Jordan Station? Anyway.
That's what they say. Born June 9th. So he's 36 years old. He's the new general manager. He flamed out in Arizona. He cost the Arizona Coyotes 2 draft choices by doing things that he shouldn't do.
He's a kid.
36 years old. He's a local guy. I guess I should be supportive. As a local Niagara, happy for John Chayka. As a Leafs fan,
why would you be happy for somebody that's coming out of nowhere to manage the most successful financially supported franchise in NHL history? And, like, what the hell's he going to do? I don't know. I guess you got to go somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. But he's fired.
And like I said before, and you can keep your cards and letters coming in, folks, as Johnny Carson used to say. Irrespective of my opinion, I don't count because I know nothing about hockey, but I get so flippin' tired, and I use the soft F word, tired of hearing about the Toronto Maple Leafs. I really do get tired of you.
I'm just so happy that here we are in the midst of the Stanley Cup playoffs in which the Maple Leafs are not participating, and once again,
Montreal,
they can grab the headlines of the hockey world by announcing the firing of Craig Berube.
We have a Canadian team, but like you said, they still grab the highlights and the headlines because it's the Toronto Maple Leafs. Screw the Toronto Maple Leafs. Earn your public relations. Earn your position on the public consciousness. My God, I'm so tired of hearing about you.
So let's do the
Austin Matthews. What the hell have you done lately?
You're bang on.
What? This guy's a multimillionaire, and he's a terrible spokesman for the team. First of all, he's about as boring as dust, and what are you paying this guy for if he's not putting the puck in the net, for God's sake?
I know. Now he's crying about it. Give me a team. How about you play better?
Give me a team.
How about you play better? How about you lead better?
Yeah, but you know what, Kevin? As much as I say I don't know nothing about hockey, honey, and I don't, but how many people have left that team and gone on to other teams and been terribly successful?
Mitch Marner?
Can you say Mitch Marner?
Yeah.
Yes. So there's something about that organization,
Oh, there
Kevin,
absolutely is. And
that has a cancer.
It's number 34.
There is something.
It's Austin Matthews.
Yeah. Okay.
That's who it is. It's
All
Austin
right.
Matthews.
So
And they have to
blow-
get off this guy.
Blow out the stars and recruit a team.
Blow out Austin Matthews.
Okay, well,
That's about it. I mean, ever since he was made captain of the Maple Leafs, the entire organization has regressed. I don't believe that he's the leader you want in the room.
No, but
and I think that's why a lot of people have walked away from the team.
I mean, he checks his bank account every day and says, okay, 35, 36
You know what
million.
it's like, yeah.
I guess I can get by on that.
He's not a leader. You know what I mean? And I
No,
don't know
he's not.
personally, but I think he's one of those guys in the room that everybody, behind closed doors says, that guy's a jerk.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play for that guy.
Yeah, but you
I'm
know
not going
what?
to put it on the line for that guy.
You know what? To flip the story, to flip the narrative on its ear, some people like Austin Matthews have this thing. And I played sport. Like I said, I'm not a hockey guy, but I played my share of pretty high-level sports in my day, on the baseball side and other stuff. But anyway, that notwithstanding, when you have the pressure to be the one person that is carrying the team, that can do a lot of things. It can either inspire you to do great things, or it can disenfranchise you to completely fail. And I think that's how it's worked on Austin Matthews. I don't think he can stand the publicity. I think he would just like to strap on the skates, not have any responsibility, captain or whatever, or linchpin of the team or leader or anything, and just go out and play hockey. That's what he was born to do, and everybody knows he has the skills, but they're not promoting the business. He's not a good business hockey player.
No.
And I think that's why they either have to just demote him to a hockey player or get rid of him. And that's my take on it. And this guy, I'm sorry, this guy was a sacrificial lamb. They brought him in to be blown out, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Now, Lee, let's go over to Facebook here.
Yeah.
Where you see us, and let's do the share thing, so everybody can refresh their page.
Okay, let's do that. All right.
And you go down here. And
I just can't stand professional teams making a shitload of money when they don't produce, and that's exactly what the Leafs are. Like, take the Leafs off the frickin' board until they start winning hockey games. Jesus.
Okay, so there we are.
All right.
And you
sorry,
just take that
sorry,
little
I'm
share
here,
button.
Kevin. I'm here.
It's all good. Take that little share button. Hit that.
Yeah. Where am I? I got
Share
to
now.
Well, I got to refresh first.
And there we go.
I got to refresh first.
Okay.
There we are.
Now it's us looking at us.
Oh, I know it's us looking at us. Okay, there we go. Good. Okay, so before we move on, I want to acknowledge something that is not Niagara, but is someone that without whom we, Kevin and myself and a lot of others, would probably not be doing what we're doing today. Ted Turner, the founder of CNN and Warner Communications, passed away this past week at the age of, I believe it was 87. Ted Turner was indeed a pioneer of modern media as we know it today. He was the one that first conceived a 24-hour news cycle. He was the one that created the news channel. CNN was his probably brainchild industry leader in its day. And say what you will about all of the news and 24-hour channels that are going on today in the 500-channel universe, etc. Say what you will, be it Fox, be it CNN, be it MSNBC, be it whatever. Ted Turner was the pioneer that made that possible for everybody to follow in his footsteps. And without him, the modern technology and the modern communications cycle that we experience today would probably would have happened eventually, but he was the pioneer. He was the embryonic beginner of that vision that became what multimedia and 24-hour news cycles is today. And you can say that was a good thing or a bad thing. There are debates on that side of the scale as well. But he was truly an amazing pioneer of our industry. And without him, we probably wouldn't be doing what we're doing today. And as a background, he had a very, very troubled childhood, and this is not anybody's fault but his own parents. But his father was terribly abusive, beat him mercilessly. He was the victim of such psychological and physical abuse as a child, and he said, you either learn from it or you die from it. And he said, I learned from it. There are a couple of Ted Turner quotes I want to mention to you, then we'll move on and tell you about what's going on in the program today. There are two things two mantras that Ted Turner, and you can tell I admire the man because he was a giant of our industry. Ted Turner said, one of the two quotes I'm going to mention to you today, early to bed, early to rise, work like hell, and advertise. That was one of his mantras. So, to those of you that are looking to promote your business, you can advertise right here. at the behest of Ted Turner. Early to bed, early to rise, work like hell, and advertise. And the other one is probably a thing that a lot of us, or a lot of you, not me, a lot of you might reject. Oh, the money, the power, the thing, how horrible it is. Well, you know what? Money and power are not necessarily horrible things. If they're used for evil, they are, but they can be used for good. So Ted's other mantra was this: life is a game. Money is just how we keep score.
Was that Ted?
Yep.
Never heard that one.
Yep, that was Ted. So, there you go. Coming up on the program today, did we want to go anywhere else first, Kev?
No, you know what? Let's promote MusicFest Canada, and then we can get right to Peter, because Peter's coming up here in a second.
Yeah, okay. MusicFest, are we doing that now?
No, we're going to do MusicFest in about 25 minutes.
Yeah, but we got Peter coming up in...
Yeah, we'll do them right after we just promote this.
Okay, MusicFest Canada. Neil-Slater is going to be here. He's the executive director of MusicFest Canada. But the MusicFest Nationals competition is happening here in Niagara, happening in Niagara Falls, as a matter of fact. The 54th MusicFest, May the 11th, well, I guess that was like yesterday, to the 16th in Niagara Falls. And we're going to find out more and more and more about that when Neil-Slater joins us. And this is a national thing, and it's kind of a feather in the Niagara cap that we're doing that here in Niagara this year. So Neil's going to be joining us about 12:40 or so on the program.
Now, Lee, we can use this video here to set up our interview with Peter, but I'll let you. This is video of one of the smash and grabs attributed to these 8 guys.
Yeah. Now, there was a post came through, on Niagara 411 this week about the police in Ontario, actually, having arrested, how many was it, 8 people, Kev, that had been involved in this string that you've been familiar with of jewelry store smash and grabs all around Ontario. And one of those jewelry stores that was a previous victim and a potential current victim is Karat Jewellers, located in St. Catharines on Geneva Street in the Fairview Mall. And they were the victims of that's a video of the kind of smash and grab. I'm not exactly sure what that particular store is that Kevin has up on the screen, but this is what they do. They smash and grab. It's exactly what it means. Sometimes even just backing a van up into a store, people jump out, steal stuff, and then they drive away, which I just saw in a movie the other day. So a lot of these things are Hollywood inspired, believe it or not. I know Hollywood doesn't necessarily want to make movies that inspire crime, but people get their ideas a lot of times from the creative world. And that's a vision right there of the kind of robbery that we're talking about. All the way back in 2023, there was a smash and grab robbery at Karat Jewellers at Fairview Mall in St. Catharines. And it turned pretty ugly, as a matter of fact. And that was a time when we were talking about a lot of these things. There was this gang of people, and law enforcement believes that this group was organized and financed and supported by some higher power. They recruited these people, and it was their plan. They had this strategic robbery, break-in, theft plan for this group of people that they recruited to do this all over all across southern and, well, maybe even northern Ontario. There was even, as a matter of fact, a story today about just yesterday there was a smash and grab at a jewelry store in Ontario. So there you go. There's the group of people that were arrested. Police have charged all of these people, which is probably just a drop in the bucket, responsible for additional robberies, and say even more arrests are expected. And there's the list of places they did. Michael Hill in Burlington, Buy and Sell Burlington, Barry's Jewelers in Burlington, Charm Diamonds in Guelph and Brantford, Charm Diamonds Waterloo, Barry's Jewelers, and there it is, Karat Jewellers St. Catharines, and Michael Hill in Burlington on March the 6th. But the March the 6th, and then there's the Michael Hill on the 16th, Michael Hill just crazy. So anyway, we have Peter Voulgaridis. Hopefully I'm not butchering your name, Peter. The general manager of Karat Jewellers in the Fairview Mall in St. Catharines. Hi, Peter. Are you reading us loud and clear?
Perfectly.
Good.
Very well. Perfectly.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And I want to share this. I shared this with you off line, but now that we have you live here, I did want to mention that I've been a customer of Karat Jewellers a number of times. And your dad, what's your dad's first name?
My dad's first name is Konstantinos.
Konstantinos, yeah. So
Konstantinos.
he's spectacular. Unfortunately, I've never met you, but he has done so much great stuff for me. When you guys were first broken into back in 2023, it broke my heart because it's a family business. Everybody in there is just so nice and so friendly and so helpful. And when I heard that you guys had been vandalized and broken into like that, it truly broke my heart. So I'm happy that we have a chance to finally talk to you. And sorry I'm taking such a long setup here, but when we heard that these people had been arrested, we had this flashback of doing all of these stories. So Peter, if you would, take us back, first of all, to 2023 and what happened that day in your store.
Well, it was around 11:15 in the morning. People were coming in and out of the store. It was a fairly busy morning. I was in the back on the computer. We had one employee in the front, and my father was here as well. So there was three of us. And as soon as a customer walked out, I was in the back. All I hear is a big bang, like a bomb went off. And that was a kind of, I don't know if it was improvised, how they put it together, but it was a bear spray bomb that went off in the store. And even the back, even the safe that was closed, we had to call a professional cleaning company because the bear spray, we were affected weeks after. The whole store was full of bear spray. They were protected because from what, I don't know what they were wearing underneath, but they were wearing big motorcycle helmets with visors. And that's what caught my attention. And
I guess.
and then immediately to scare us, they shot at the roof two times in the store.
Wow.
Yeah. So at first we were kind of stunned. We didn't know what to do. I could see through the camera in the back because we have cameras that see the front of the store. Guys in black just destroying everything. Well, not everything. They knew where to target. I'm assuming, and the police assume as well, that they visited the store.
Yeah, they
in order
cased
to
the joint, as
identify
they say.
what they want to target that day.
Yeah.
And then we were stunned at first, but then I told my dad, I'm like, these guys are going to take everything. So I grabbed instinctively whatever heavy objects I could find, and I just started throwing at them hammers, and we have big iron.
You personally were throwing things at this guy?
Yeah.
Are these people?
Yeah. At first, what I tried to do was, and again, instinctively, I wanted to grab the one guy and just push him out the store. But as soon as I went near him, that's when he pulled out the gun again.
He had a gun?
Yeah. And that was the first time I had a gun pointed right in my face. So I backed off. So then I'm like, I can't just sit here. So I started throwing stuff at the other guy. Anything heavy, because we have a heavy stainless steel kind of like plates where we melt gold. So they're pretty heavy.
Yeah.
So I started to throw that at them. I kind of delayed them because they were focusing on me. Again, the one guy pulled a gun, shot up in the air. So there was 3 shots fired in the store. And and then after they bear sprayed me right in the face, so I kind of backed off of it. But once they left the store, I wanted to see what sort of getaway car they were going to get into so I can point the police in the right direction.
Okay.
Unaware, they weren't getting in the car, they were getting on a motorcycle. And they weren't very fast because I managed to come within a few feet of the guy.
Yeah.
And then he shot at me towards my leg. I literally felt the bullet just graze my leg, thank God. And it did hit a lady's car and it popped her tire. And then I got into an altercation with the one guy because they had no choice as well. And I had no choice. We were pretty much face to face.
Wow.
And I got an altercation. Then my father came up running behind me. And within like 2 feet of the one guy, he was shot in the leg, in the thigh.
Your father was shot in the leg?
Yeah. So these guys weren't kidding around. They were.
So this was a real
criminals.
gun. This wasn't a
gun.
pretend.
No, not a pretend. It was a real gun. He had to be taken to Hamilton. Thank God the bullet went in and out.
Wow.
So
Okay.
It didn't hit any arteries.
Okay.
So then after I just kept pulling the one guy. I should have, in hindsight, we're inexperienced. I just kept pulling the guy off the motorcycle until the police arrived. But it was hard for the police to do much in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So they took off towards the highway. And
So they
that
didn't.
was
So they weren't able to arrest anybody at that time.
No.
Okay. So flash forward now to current day. These guys tried to follow up on the story. This story that happened to your family and your business is incredible. So flash forward to they tried to come back and rob you again, right?
Yeah. In March sometime, I believe it was, or end of February.
Of this year?
Of this year.
Okay, and what happened then?
Well, the one time they were unlucky and we were lucky because they came at 5:26 because we saw in the cameras we were closed.
So they came at a time to rob you when your store was closed?
Yes. They didn't do their homework.
These
Thank
guys
God.
are not smart criminals.
No. If they wouldn't be doing what they're doing if they were smart, I think.
Okay.
So
So then what happened after that?
So after that, we saw, thank God it was the bank manager at Scotia Bank who, because these guys walked into the mall, they were in here for about 3 minutes. He was the only one who noticed them and did anything about it. So it was a new bank manager. He went, you could see him going outside and coming back in, and he called the police.
So they came to your store. They found out that it was closed. They went back out of the mall, and somebody identified them as probable thieves. Is that what happened?
If you see the video, you won't need the word probable. They weren't coming here shopping the way they were dressed.
I mean, I know.
It reminded me a lot of. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
They were dressed like the first guys who were here, all black, helmets, masks, had bags with them. And for us, we were trying, since the first incident, we were, from the next day, we wanted to put a security door up. But, stuff like that doesn't happen overnight. No. It happened in January of 2026, end of January, we put up a security door. But it wasn't completely finished, so we didn't have it locked. You can walk to the door and open the door.
Right.
So thank God for the bank manager. He saw that. He alerted us. This was on a Friday. The Saturday I was working. So ever since then, we started locking the door because we needed to put the finishing touches so we can have a buzzer.
Sure.
For some reason, that was taking a bit of extra time. So we had the door, and so he alerted us, and thank God. So we locked the door immediately.
Okay.
So every time now someone had to come in, we had to physically walk to the door to open the door, which was fine. But then the next Friday, they came back.
They came back again?
2:30, 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Or next Saturday. No,
and
my brother was working.
So they came back at 2:30 to 3 o'clock because now they know you're going to be open, right?
The following Saturday, because that Saturday my brother was in.
Okay.
And they actually came up to the door and tried to open the door. And they saw it was locked, and they took off.
Unbelievable.
And we were fortunate because in other businesses, in other jewelry stores, a security door didn't necessarily dissuade them from trying to enter the store.
So they tried to break in those cases.
And they were, in some instances they were successful.
So now, Peter, I understand this security door that you put up had some sort of a buzzer or a bell or something?
Exactly.
Did they ring the bell to try to get in?
No.
They didn't?
They weren't even polite enough to do that.
Okay. Because I thought maybe they're sitting there in a mask, and you're pressing a button. But no, at least they did. At least they were smart enough not to do that.
Yeah, they tried to open the door, saw they couldn't, and they left.
Well, I know this sounds on one level, as I've been kind of giggling here. I know it sounds kind of humorous, but this is not humorous. This is not funny. This is a small business, a family business. How long has Karat Jewellers been operating? A long time.
Since 1991.
Yeah, okay. So this is a very traumatic thing to happen to people under any circumstances, whether you're the owner or the manager or the clerk or whatever it is. How are you and your family doing now? Is everybody okay? Do you feel okay?
Yeah, we always have that concern in the back of our minds.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, and I don't want to, play it like a hero, the tough guy. I don't want them to cause me to alter my life. I don't want those people to cause me any unnecessary stress. Yeah. We try to deal with it. Unfortunately, in life, we understand you have good incidents, bad incidents happen. So we kind of try to move on. And thank God my father was okay, because, you think you're shot in the leg, but even the hospital said, if the bullet was stuck in there or they hit an artery, that could cause someone to pass away, to die.
So since 1999, that's about 27 years.
Oh no, 91. I'm sorry,
91. So you've got about
91.
35 years in business or
35
more,
years.
almost 40 years in
Yeah.
business there. Has anything like this, starting back in 2023, has anything like this ever happened to your family and your business before?
It was during the day was rare. We've had robberies in the past that occurred at nighttime, nighttime break-ins, and that was the norm in our industry for many years until the late early 2020s.
Right.
That was the norm, and then for some reason they escalated, and they became more brazen, where you have daytime incidents with guns and 4 or 5 people storming the store.
Yeah.
And another thing why too, why we feel fortunate because at one time there was only 2 people who came into our store. If there was 4 or 5 people, we wouldn't be able to do anything, and they would have ruined us completely because even the 3 years ago, they took about $150,000 to $170,000 worth of stuff, merchandise.
Right.
And today's price, that's double.
Absolutely.
So
especially with the price of jewels these days.
Yeah.
So has this changed how you and your family look at life in general? Because this has to be a little bit disillusioning. I don't know how you deal with this kind of stuff. So that's question number one as a 2-part question. These people that were arrested, it was announced by the cops, I think, yesterday or the day before, that 8 people were arrested. Were any of these people that you have confirmed were part of the group that violated your store?
Only the police can inform us about that. We're not certain.
Okay.
We're not certain if they were the part of the group that targeted us and other stores in Niagara. We're not certain about that.
Now there is a general there is a general sort of perception, and I think this comes out of the OPP because this is a province-wide thing. This is just not St. Catharines. This has happened from Kingston to Kitchener. There was one in Kitchener yesterday, and Guelph, like all over. There is this general perception that there is some sort of gang leader, some sort of ringleader or guy up top that is recruiting these young people, these gangs, to go and do these smash and grab robberies at jewelry stores. Have you been privy to any information from law enforcement as to whether this is really what's happening? Is it a gang thing?
Yeah, from the little that they did tell us, yes, they believe that it's a gang thing and it's organized. And that's why they told us. Now, the guys that came here from what the police told us that attempted the second time now in 2026 in March, because they went to target a bank as well, the police got to found out their identity. They were 14, 15 years old, some of the people.
Because they're juveniles.
Exactly. So somebody higher up knows the law and knows to recruit younger people in order for the justice system not to be able to do as much compared to an adult if you were robbing this place. But no, some of these 14-year-olds I saw if they were 14, they were very, very big boys.
Wow.
So they can cause some damage, right? If they're running through, they can hit somebody and knock him over.
It's just amazing. It's just amazing to me how brazen they are in the middle of the day. And we have read stories as well about a troop of them, a gang of them, or whatever, waltzing through the Penn Center in St. Catharines and whacking whatever jewelry store they come across, and then getting away or trying to get away. It's been just it's just been an incredible story, Peter, as to what's going on, and I feel so bad for your industry because, I mean, let's face it, as you mentioned, jewelry prices have escalated, the price of diamonds has escalated, the price of gold in particular, and I know your dad and perhaps you do, you've done it for me, worked with gold, and gold prices have gone through the roof, so it's not an inexpensive business to run these days.
And with the added security now, we had to put a security door. You can imagine it's bulletproof glass, buzzers, everything. So that was a lot of money. I don't know if you can see here where we have that white machine there. That's called a smoke cloak, and they're about 10,000-12,000 each. We have two, so if something happens now, there's a button that we press, and the whole store will fill up with it's non-toxic, but smoke.
Wow.
Yeah.
So to deter
those are
somebody,
the added costs
crazy.
that are, and it's those added costs are added to the increased cost of running a business these days.
Well, I wish you would, on my behalf personally, wish well to your dad, because this medallion, I know this is a personal story, but that's all right. It's my show. This medallion, my wife gave to me probably almost 50 years ago. It's a St. Christopher medal. And I wore it, which is the patron saint of travel, because I was traveling around a lot in those days. I was flying all over the world, and she gave this to me to keep me safe. And over the years, it got so old that the attachment broke. And I finally dug it out of my little treasure chest, and I took it into your dad at Karat Jewellers at the Fairview Mall, and he looked at it and he said, "Oh, I don't think I can do anything because it's too far gone." And wonderful man. And I said, "Well, that's okay. I just thought I'd take a chance." And I turned around and I was almost out of the store, and your father said, "Come back here, come back. So I went back and he said, "Leave it with me, let me look." He reattached a little gold circle on top of this medallion. He made it himself, he did it himself, and he altered this piece of jewelry just for me, and then I bought a chain from him and put it on. And that was probably 8 or 9 years ago. So you tell your dad how much I appreciate him and your business, okay?
I will. Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
To answer your first question, for us, we are affected, obviously. We're concerned because when the robbery happened, we had a very good employee who, after that, she couldn't come to work. So she had to quit working here and find other work. That was a big loss for us, because it's hard. She was very nice and a very good employee. But it's a larger question too, Lee, on why societal. That's what concerns me, because I have kids. Okay, why is this happening? What our society is becoming more insecure with these people are becoming more brazen.
Yeah.
And it's a larger question. I don't want to focus it just on me, because I have children. What are we going to do? And if the trend continues in 10, 20 years, what's going to happen? Because this is relatively new. We've never, ever, all jeweler stores had doors open, especially in malls. We were never concerned about the day. It was always at night we secured our store. Now it's switched.
Now it's 24/7. Peter Voulgaridis, thanks for joining us, manager of Karat Jewellers in the Fairview Mall in St. Catharines. Spokesperson for a scourge of what's been happening over the last few years, and hopefully it'll start to wind down. Peter, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to meet you. Pleasure and continued success with your business.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Sorry to take that aside, Kevin, and tell that story. There we are in the lovely Fiddler's Poorhouse, 149 St. Paul Street in St. Catharines, Ontario. And as you can tell, no expense is spared with that multi-million-dollar set that Kevin Jack of WeeStreem sets up every week. He is a marvel. It's just amazing what you can do with $2.50 on a budget. So Kev, I know we spent a long time with Peter, but I think it's a big story. We've talked about this for many years, and before we move on to the next segment, want to acknowledge our sponsors once again. Grantham Home Hardware is our major sponsor here on Niagara 411 Live with Lee Sterry. Homegrown quality from coast to coast, and by all means, I can't say enough about these folks. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian across the country, and this springtime, although we haven't really had what you might call a wonderful spring. My God, it's been wet. We had another great big downpour last night, some thunder going on. And yeah, it's been good if you're putting down some grass seed, but other than that, it's been a pretty damn cold and wet spring. But it is still the time when you're starting to plan for summer, and we're expecting a hot, dry summer here around Niagara. So you got barbecues, you got patio furniture and accessories, lawn and garden products, and home essentials like garbage bags and leaf bags and all that stuff, paints and kitchenwares, etc. They have all kinds of. They have some great deals on Adirondack chairs. Be they the sort of what do we call them? I don't want to say plastic. What's
resin?
Resin. That's the word. Resin chairs, or whether they're real wood or whatever they are. All kinds of for whatever your springtime into summer needs might be. Grantham Home Hardware has everything to make your summer when it finally gets here.
That's a steal right there, Lee. 50% off outdoor rugs.
Yeah, look at that.
Right now you're thinking about that 50% off. These rugs are always more expensive than you want them to be.
Yeah.
Go down and see Jake Robb, 50% off that. And look at that, 50% off spray paint.
Yep. All that wonderful stuff. Verge Insurance Group, thank you very much for continuing to support us. Home, life, business, car, whatever your insurance needs. Verge Insurance Brokers, they have an office in Niagara Falls. Their head office over here on Ontario, over there on Ontario Street in St. Catharines by Montebello Park. Thanks, Mark Shirk and the gang for helping to support us. And Kevin at WeeStream, we'll have a chance to talk to Kevin more about that business and what's happening in the coming months and over the summer. Neil Slater is Executive Director of MusicFest Canada, and just as it happens, the MusicFest Nationals are happening right here in Niagara Falls. Neil Slater is joining us now. Hi, Neil. How are you? Nice to meet you.
I'm very well, Lee. Thank you for having me on your auspicious program.
Oh, auspicious. I think that's the nicest compliment I've had in the last hour or so. Nice to meet you, Neil. Where are you originally from?
I'm from Ottawa.
From Ottawa, okay. The lovely nation's capital. How is driving around Ottawa now? I was there a couple of months ago, and I got to tell you, it was a tough city to negotiate.
Well, there's, there's 2 seasons, winter and construction.
Yeah. So tell us, first of all, before we talk about the Nationals, tell us about MusicFest Canada, of which you are the executive director. I'm sure there are quite a number of people that are tuning into this stream that don't know what that is. So fill us in on the organization.
MusicFest Canada is a non-profit organization to support music students across the country. It's been in existence for 54 years. This is our 54th year. We are basically the center of a hub of 70 regional festivals across the country. I don't know what your upbringing was, Lee, but kids that played in band when they were in high school or something like that.
Yeah.
This is what it is. All these local festivals where kids will go with their band, their school band or choir or orchestra or jazz band, and they will participate in that festival. And then the top ones from those 70 regional festivals are all invited to participate in MusicFest Nationals. Now, they all can't come every year because it's a financial commitment, it's a distance. But, this year we have 319 groups from Nanaimo, BC to St. John's, Newfoundland, and over 9,400 kids.
Wow. Now, when I was, to go to your point, and you sort of struck a chord with me because I was doing music.
No pun intended.
Yeah, pun intended, yeah. Actually, not intended, but the chord was, I wish I'd thought of it that way. Anyway, when I was a youngster, I was into music, and I took music all through school, etc. And I was a member of many different high school bands and stuff. And in our era here in Niagara, for many, many years, there was a thing called the Kiwanis Music Festival. And I think there was a wonderful auditorium in a high school here. I think it was NFCVI. But it could have been Stamford. You wouldn't know, being from your part of the world. But anyway, this high school had a wonderful auditorium. It was the best auditorium for music performance in Niagara, bar none, this Niagara Falls. And the Kiwanis Music Festival turned out some incredible competitions. And there was piano, and there was vocal, and there was brass, and there were choral groups that came from the various high schools, and it was adjudicated by musical judges, etc. And it was really a big thing. So I think that might have been one of the precursors to what you guys are doing.
Well, that what you're describing is. And it sounds like a very successful one.
It was.
That would be one of the 70 regional festivals that are all affiliated under the umbrella of MusicFest Canada.
Right. Okay.
So the best groups out of that festival would be invited to participate in the nationals. And every year we're in a different Canadian city. This year, as you said, which is why you're talking to me, we're here at the Niagara Falls Convention Center and at Redeemer Bible Church.
All right. So give us the dates and the rundown of what's happening at the festival.
The festival itself runs from the Monday of this week, the 11th, to Saturday, the 16th. We have a concert band and string orchestra stage. We have a jazz stage, and we have a choral stage. The choral stage is the one over at Redeemer. The other two are here at the Convention Center, which is where I'm located right now. Okay. They run the jazz stage runs sort of 8 in the morning till 8 at night. The concert band stage runs all 6 days, like 8 in the morning till 10:30 at night. As I say, 319 groups. That's the largest festival we've ever had in our 54 years.
Wow. So you have these different stages with different musical genres. How is it adjudicated? Who are the judges, and what is the outcome? What's everybody fighting for here?
Okay. Well, if you picture it, every half hour on each stage, there's a different school.
Okay.
So they come on stage, they play 3 tunes, or they sing 3 tunes. We'll have a panel of adjudicators. Most of them are Canadian.
Yeah.
We get 1 or 2 from the States, maybe per division, but mostly Canadian. Top people from the professional musicians, university professors,
right.
The people maybe retired, really successful high school teachers. That's sort of the pool.
Okay.
And what they're competing for, they're actually competing against standards. So they're rated either a gold, silver, or bronze standard rate based on the level of performance. But to give you a sense of what the gold is, they would have to have achieved gold at their regional festival, your Niagara Kiwanis, in order to qualify to come here. And then it's sort of restacked again, because not everybody who gets gold at Niagara Kiwanis would get gold at nationals. So it's sort of goes up one more notch, and then the creme de la creme earn gold at nationals, then silver, then bronze.
And are they divided into those categories? You mentioned jazz, you mentioned choral, you mentioned other. So are the competitions aren't overlapping; they're separate.
No, and not only that, but let's take jazz for example.
Right.
It's by age. So in Ontario, schools go up to grade 8, and then it goes 9 to 12. Okay. So we do it by age category. So there's an age category for grade 8 bands, and then there's an age category for grade 9 bands, one for grade 10 bands, and up like that.
That's so cool.
It ensures that they're in the same category as people of their same age. In the concert band division, it's done by the level of the music. So depending on how hard your music is, you're in the category with people playing music of the same level as you.
And I
we
guess
do
you
that
have to,
make sure-
you have to apply for, or when you want to participate in these things, I guess you have to achieve at this level to go into that level, correct?
You have to get gold at the regional to come to nationals.
Okay. And then how are you slotted in at the nationals as to what level you perform in, or is this everybody in a pool? If you're jazz, you're in the jazz pool.
No, whatever you qualify in out of your regional is the category you would be in at nationals. So in jazz, for example, there are maybe 3 or 4 main categories by age. In concert band, there are 6 different levels. Yeah. In concert band, there'd be 6 different levels of difficulty. In choral, there's I think 4 or 5 different levels by age. So whatever they're coming, they don't qualify just to come to nationals. They qualify in that particular category.
Gotcha.
To come to nationals.
Right. Yeah. So my head's starting to hurt a little bit. This is a lot of. I'm thinking trying to organize these performances with all of these different criteria.
Yeah.
It's a little overwhelming.
You're speaking my language. Well, we work 51 weeks a year for 1 week of a festival. We have a cadre of about 100 volunteers that come every year from all across the country. People from age 16 to 86 that volunteer to come and help out, unpacking boxes, being a performer guide for a band. So it's this big organization would not happen without all those volunteers.
How do these schools finance the trips? I mean, these kids, if they're coming, well, first of all, they have to compete in their own regions, and now they have to come for the nationals here in Niagara, and some of them come from miles away, and we know that staying in Niagara hotels and things of that nature is not necessarily inexpensive. Where does all this financing come from?
Well, that would be site specific. I mean, we had a school, to take it to its extreme. I mean, we have local schools that'll just bus here for the day and participate and go home.
Okay.
Taken to its extreme, there was a school from the School District 60 in British Columbia that was playing
Wow.
on Monday. It cost them, and I'm just rough guessing it here, I would say $2,500 a person. But they had fundraised all year, because this was their goal, was to come here and come to this festival. So it's, as I say, it's very site specific as to what it's going to cost and how people go about raising the money.
Okay, Neil, what are the byproducts? What's the payoff for these schools, for these people that do succeed and do triumph and overachieve or whatever at this festival? What's their? I know people aren't getting rich from it and whatever. What's the holy grail, if you will, of the MusicFest Nationals?
I can go back to my own experience as a student, and I can tell you, when you look back on your high school days, do you remember math class or do you remember the band trip?
Yeah, I remember my band trips for a lot of reasons.
Well, you may not want to go into all the details, but I hear you. So, I think what's unique, maybe not unique about MusicFest Nationals, but that type of environment is there are other parts of your life where you can be evaluated and you can achieve.
Right.
If you play in a soccer game, one team wins, one team doesn't win. You win a championship, and you've all bonded together to do that. And so keep in mind, these kids that are coming here have already bonded together all year and qualified by getting a gold at the regional. So they're feeling good about themselves and each other, and they're coming here and they're again trying to achieve a really high standard. I think I know personally that it makes the music making even more tangible and important. I always, as a music teacher, would want the kids to play as well as they could, but sometimes they really didn't care. But if you have that construct of, well, you're going to be going to MusicFest Nationals and you're going to be adjudicated by all these people, that provides a real focus for these young kids to commit to making really good music. And my belief is, whatever you're doing, you should be making really good radio, Steve, Lee.
Yeah.
So they should be making really good music.
I have 100 questions I could ask you, so I'm only going to ask you maybe 20 more. Anyway, so
I'm here all day. I'm here till like 10 o'clock tonight.
yeah,
so it's
I'm here
good.
all day too. It's my show. I can go as long as I want. So
Absolutely.
So, what is your youngest competitor, and what would be your oldest?
Youngest would be grade 5.
Okay.
That's a choir. The oldest, well, we had a group last year of veteran clarinetists. The youngest was about 80, and I think the oldest was 99.
Oh, come on.
No, they were a community ensemble, and I don't remember what they were called. I can't remember the name, but there's a funny name for them that they're gonna contact me and give me a hard time now. But
No, that's funny. I had no idea. I didn't know you were going to go that from grade 5 to age 99. I didn't think you were going to go that far.
Well, Lee, when I was a music teacher, I used to tell the kids, you get to be my age and the hips start to go and the arthritis, and you can't play basketball anymore, but you can play music your entire life.
I was going to ask you, Neil. Give me a quick thumbnail bio of you. Who are you? What's your background?
Who the heck are you?
Who the hell are you?
Yeah. Well, I got. I learned piano from a young age. I went to Western University in London for a classical piano degree. Became a music teacher, taught elementary school for 8 years, taught secondary high school for 9 years, teaching strings, teaching winds, teaching choral, depending on what school I was at. I then became a vice principal and a principal, and then in my last 10 years, I was a school superintendent.
Wow.
So I went to the dark side for the second half of my career, but I still run a community jazz band. This is year 39 of that, and still, this is another way for me to keep involved, contributing to music.
I'm
a composer, that kind of thing. So, lots.
Good for you. How are the judges chosen? How many judges are they? Where do they come from? How are they chosen? Give us that background.
We have 4 divisions. We have jazz, orchestra, concert band, and choir. And so we have a division chair. We have a person who's an esteemed educator that's ahead of each of these divisions. And that chair is the one responsible for hiring the adjudicators for their division.
Okay.
We try and get a rotation going. We try not to have the same people every year, because if bands come back year after year, we want them to get different voices and different input. But as I say, we're talking a lot of university professors. Like on the concert band stage, I would say 2/3 of them have doctor in front of their name. They're highly trained. Jazz side, a lot more maybe of musicians that are active musicians in the field.
Now, jazz is a pretty wide category, and it's something that I've struggled with. 'Cause I've been involved in music, like I said, since I was like 6. But jazz everybody has their own interpretation of jazz. Is it as wide a category in this competition as it is in real life? I mean, you got interpretive jazz, you got pure jazz, you got smooth jazz, you've got blues jazz, you got it's a multi-headed monster, that word jazz. What is there a narrow definition of what happens in this festival, or is it kind of wide open in that way?
Well, I'm going to answer it in 2 ways. There are basically 2 types of jazz ensembles that participate. You have what's called a big band, which if you think back to the 40s and Glenn Miller and Artie Shaw and Benny Goodman, a bunch of saxophones, a bunch of trombones, a bunch of trumpets, rhythm section. There's that, and then we have what we call a jazz combo setting, which is more what you'd hear at a local pub. You'd have like a sax player with a piano player and a drummer and bass. So the small group and the big group. In terms of the literature, we will hear Latin, we will hear rock, we will hear funk, we will hear ballads, we will hear swing, we will hear shuffles.
Good.
So we encourage them. They all play 3 tunes, and we want 3 tunes of 3 different styles.
Good, excellent.
So
that's what I was kind of going for, so that it gave other musicians of other applications an opportunity to shine. Neil Slater, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for bringing your festival and your nationals to Niagara. I think it's a spectacular thing. to have happen, and it brings back great memories for me from being a kid and getting started in music. Now, can we stop by just quickly before we have to let you go? It's at the Convention Center in Niagara Falls. Can we just wander in and watch? Do we have to buy tickets or?
All our student adjudicated performances that I've been talking about are open to the public, free of charge.
Awesome. And you're on
Really
every
encourage you to drop
day,
by.
every day through when?
Saturday, through Saturday.
Through Saturday. And the hours every day are what?
Well, the first band's at 8 o'clock in the morning. Last band finishes playing at 10:30 at night.
That's so cool.
Except Saturday, we finish at dinner time on Saturday.
Great entertainment for anybody that wants to stop by and just watch these young performers do their stuff. And you'll be letting us know who the winners of this are, right?
If you go to musicfest.ca, the results are posted in live time. As soon as we get the result, it's posted. There's a link there that says 2026 festival results.
Awesome. Neil, thanks for being here. Congratulations on what you do. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be with you.
Take care, man. Boy, that brings back some memories for me, as if anybody gives a crap about me. All right, so here we are. That is our lovely set at 149 St. Paul Street in downtown St. Catharines, Fiddler's Poorhouse. And look at that. Could we make that any more posh than it looks right now? God, we look. That's like that cost at least $3.50 to put together. Kevin Jack, ladies and gentlemen, was on your screen there along with me a few seconds ago. He is the co-founder of WeeStreem. He is the founder of this program, an executive producer. I don't know why we give him an executive title, but it makes him feel good. Kevin, what's going on in your world right now? I know you did Niagara Falls City Council last night. How many thousands of hours did that run?
That was a short one, Lee. I think we actually got out of there when it was still sunlight out. So.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty happy about that.
Wow. Was Ms. Lococo not there? I'm sorry.
What are you trying to do to me here?
No,
Lee?
I'm just kidding.
What, do you bait me into a conversation? I'll tell
No,
you, though.
Lori, I'm kidding. I love you, Lori.
The big news from this week had to be on Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday, we brought the fam down to Toronto to see.
Fam, that's short for family.
Well, just brought our son Alex.
Yeah.
And I went along with Brandon from WeeStream and his son Nathan, and also Bruce, who works a lot for WeeStream. So it's kind of a WeeStream gathering.
Yeah.
We went down to TFC and watched Lionel Messi play soccer for Inter Miami. Tickets were only, and I say only, $140 for the nosebleeds and those new additional bleachers. They're on stilts, added for FIFA, and it was incredible. Here's a little pictorial. There you go. There's my son, and there's Brandon's son, Nathan.
Hi, Alex. Hi, Nathan.
So we took the GO train from Burlington. Not a problem at all. Because this
That's
is
the
kind
best
of
way to go.
This is kind of a test run for FIFA that's coming up.
Absolutely.
First time they've had 45,000 people in the stadium. Getting into the city, not a problem.
This is the BMO, right?
Getting out, BMO Field, I think, yeah. Getting out easier than getting in. So we got on Burlington.
Unusual.
I would suggest to anybody, get on Burlington or even Aldershot, because as we started getting closer to Toronto, they weren't picking anybody else up.
Okay.
The train was full. But, of course, they had more trains, and the instructions were, hey, wait, we got another train coming in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you try and drive into the city, you might be left standing watching the train go by saying, hey, sorry, we're full.
Don't even try that.
So there we were. Well, let's just get to the stadium. So here we are.
Okay.
There's
Nice shot.
Group of us going in. Here you go. There you can see the stadium.
Packed. What did you say, 45?
They officially was 44,800, so 44,800 and change.
That's as much as they have for a Jays game at the Dome.
I mean, how's that? This is almost the worst seat in the house.
Wow.
And it's pretty darn good. So there we are. We're on the stilts.
And that's what people can expect.
And there's my
to
son.
see. During the World Cup when it's here.
Yeah, there we are. And again, this is like the worst seat in the house, which is really good for a soccer game.
For a soccer game, it's awesome.
For a soccer game, there we are. That's Bruce there from WeeStream, Alex, Nathan, and Brandon.
Wow.
There's the pitch, if you will. So there you go. That's
So my question to you, because I'm kind of the same with soccer as I am with hockey, even less with soccer.
There's Messi.
There. Okay. Is Messi worth the price of admission?
He was worth all $140.
Well, yeah?
He was the best player on the field. Shot out of a cannon when the ball's on his foot. Scored a goal, set up 2 others. He was worth the price of admission.
So when you're watching
Absolutely
this
got
field,
it.
because like I said, I'm not a soccer aficionado, but when you're watching this field of people on the soccer pitch, etc., he stands out.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
It's noticeable. It's strange. I don't know if this is his style. I haven't been to enough soccer games to see. When everybody else is running off the ball, he's kind of walking around. And then as soon as the ball comes in his direction, like he's shot out of a cannon, all of a sudden he's the fastest guy on the field.
Okay.
And he's zipping around.
So he's
his
sleeping
footwork.
he's laying in the weeds.
Yeah, and it was clear. I mean, here we are here. Let's see if we can get you some video here. I mean, there you go. There's Lionel Messi right there from way up where we were sitting. And it was pretty incredible. Here you go.
That's so cool.
I think this might have actually been when they scored. Lionel Messi's on the right, and I think DePaul ends up taking this free kick, and they score here. So here you go. We're zooming in on a camera from our vantage point.
Okay.
But it was really cool, and if there's any fears, there he goes. The guy volleys it, bang, right off the post and in. That put Miami up 1-0. They got up 4-0.
4-0? 4-0?
Yeah, they got up 4-0.
Hey, I know soccer talk. 4-0?
Oh, there you go. We had a couple people run on the field. 4 different times towards the end of the match, people ran on the field, and all they were trying to do was get up close to Messi. Like they came with arms outreached. They
just
running
wanted
at him
to
like,
see him.
Give me a hug. Give me a hug.
Wow.
The only thing that security did wrong there, Lee, was there you go. There's my son. That's just
Hi, Alex.
beautiful time. Is they didn't drive a knee into the back of the first guy, so they didn't make any deterrent for people to hop the rails and rush onto the field. So after the first guy did it, 3 more people did it. It was totally worth the price of admission. In hockey terms, this is like paying to go see Wayne Gretzky, but Wayne Gretzky came around more often than Lionel Messi does.
Yeah.
So to be able to go there on a Saturday, matinee game, 1 p.m. kickoff, get to Toronto on the go, 44,000 people. They were able to get us out of the stadium quicker than they got us in.
Well,
all the people fearing for what's going to happen when FIFA comes. My experience, and this was absolutely a test run for all of the organizers, it was 100% smooth. So there you go. And the Gardner was also closed. So everybody that was trying to get into the city.
I thought the Don Valley was closed.
it was the Gardner that was closed.
They closed the Don Valley the whole weekend.
Oh, okay. Well, they closed the Gardner too, didn't they? Or was it just the Don Valley? Sorry, it was just the DVP.
Anyway.
Sorry, it was the DVP
Traffic
that was
was
closed.
a mess.
Right. Yeah.
The DVP was closed, I know that.
No, I think you're right there. It was the DVP.
That's
but
why
anyway,
I stay out of Toronto totally.
We got down. Messi delivered. He scored a goal right in front of us. Absolutely delivered for the price of admission. So there you go, Lee. That's the highlight.
I appreciate that update, and
that kid there, along with me, will remember this for the rest of our lives.
that's a great testament to perhaps the preparation that Toronto has made, because you know what's going to happen when the World Cup hits here. I think there are 6 games in the World Cup that are going to be played in Toronto. One of them, Canada, I think that's maybe the first game because we're a host country. We don't exactly necessarily have played our way in or deserve to be here, but don't yell at me. Don't send me death threats. But, Canada's not a contender. But we are a host country, so we get a chance to participate. And I think we're the first game we play Outer Lithuania or something. I don't know who it is we play.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so there's one Canada game, and tickets for that, Lee, are like $1,000 minimum to get in the door. And I'll tell you, I know it's FIFA World Cup, but I got way more value in my $140 than I would ever get.
Absolutely.
My desire to go to FIFA has dropped off to zero
after seeing what you saw.
After seeing what we saw on
No
Saturday.
question. Now, did we not? Did Canada's soccer team not lose one of its premier players to injury recently?
Yeah, Alphonso Davies is injured, and he's pretty much the top of the tops when it comes to Canadian soccer.
Yeah.
They say out 3 to 5 weeks, so we'll see. He might join the mid-tournament or something like that.
All right. Want to thank once again Grantham Home Hardware for being the keynote sponsor and bringing you this program every couple of weeks. This is a big season for Grantham Home Hardware when it comes to whatever it is you need, be it lawn care or patio furniture or anything and everything it is, from washers to screws to chairs to whatever it is. And, the folks there are so great. I walked in there the other day. I can't even remember what I went in there to get. I probably stopped by Grantham Home Hardware 2-3 times a week for various and sundry things, but it's all right there. Everybody's asking if you need a hand, and it's awesome. And there's some deals that Kevin's putting on the screen right now. Kevin, there was what was it I wanted? Oh, there was an older gentleman. I think they said he was about 61 years old.
Oh, the 71-year-old guy.
71? Okay.
Yeah, this was crazy.
Okay, I can identify.
Well, no, 70, because it's the age. It kind of makes it weird.
Yeah. Now, apparently, he was new to the area.
Oh, you're talking that guy. I thought you were talking about the. So here, I got the story up.
No,
of
not
the
the core guy.
71-year-old guy.
Well, let's do this first.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's do this first, and then
we'll
we'll go back to my guy. Everybody needs a guy. And in England they call it Guy Fawkes Day, but that's another story. The Niagara Regional Police Service, the core is called Community Oriented Response and Engagement Unit. It began an investigation into hate speech. Oh, Lord, the world we live in. Okay, into hate speech. Officers engaged with the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Unit. Everybody has these acronyms, my God. EDI. We could speak in letters all day long and nobody would know what the hell you're talking about. They investigated 11 vandalization. Is that a word? Vandalization? Okay. Incidents. I love the way they word this stuff. In which hate speech had been spray painted onto buildings on Queen Street, Bridge Street, Erie Avenue, and Zimmerman Avenue in Niagara Falls. Okay, not the fact that there are many people there to begin with, but, sorry, that was a bit of a side. That was cruel. Sorry. As a result, I used to work down there. I can say things like that. As a result of the investigation, Corps officers have identified a suspect in the matter who was arrested on May the 8th. 71-year-old Pierre Vallon of Niagara Falls is charged with the following criminal offense: mischief under $5,000. 71 years old. What are you doing out there, man? He was released on a Form 10 undertaking with a future court date. That's police speak for, you got a date coming up, get out of here and go home. Officers believe there could be further incidents that have not been reported to police and are asking anyone with information related to this incident to contact the Niagara Regional Police Service. Residents and businesses in the area of the incident are asked to review video surveillance footage and contact police. Here's the thing that sort of gets my knickers in a knot, as the British would say, when it comes to these reports. I am the public. Okay, just think of me as trying to represent you, the public. We are the dirty, unwashed, those in the non-knowing category of not knowing what any of this stuff is about. So they say that this dude, 71 years old, he commits 11 acts of vandalism or vandalization. Is that a word? But here's what I want to know. See, here's where media people are better than the cops. I got to tell you, here's what I want to know. I don't want to know what he's charged with. I don't want to know the number of events. I don't want to know whether he's going to court. I don't want to know how to contact you with information. I want to know what he wrote on the buildings. That's what I want to know. I don't give a crap who he is or how he did what he did. I want to know what he wrote. Kevin, am I not right here?
No, same boat. I was hoping that Nick would leave the comments on this one so people could at least share the graffiti.
I want to know what this guy did.
I want to know who he's hating against. Like 71-year-old Pierre Vaillant of Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Like 71 years old and he's this upset.
I want to know what this dude wrote on your building. Have the cops tell me that. This is crazy. It's a cool story. It's not a cool story. It's a ridiculous story. A 71-year-old going around with spray paint. That's stupid. But I want to know what he wrote.
I'll dig a little deeper and see if I can see any of the tags that he left behind.
You suck. Okay.
Yeah.
Who sucks and why? That's what I want to know. Come on.
He's so enraged. It's like, well, maybe I want to learn more.
Enraged about what, though? This is a nothing. Yeah, okay. Charged with this under $5,000. Whoop-de-doo. I want to know what he wrote in the damn building. That's what I want to know.
And now, Lee, to
Full disclosure.
the 61-year-old, and this is a tragic story. And
It is a tragic story.
a lot of people were caught up in the comments. A lot of people were caught up in the traffic. They said they were stuck on the QEW for somewhere in the neighborhood of 2-3 hours on this one.
Well, that kind of leads into another story. But yes, it did begin with a tragedy, and that's where I wanted to go. Sunday, May the 10th, Mom's Day, I guess it was, Mother's Day. Okay, now here's where the story, you have to say what was really going on with this poor man. 12 a.m., so this is midnight. A pedestrian was walking on the Queen Elizabeth Highway, a Fort Erie bound up in Fruitland area, Stony Creek, when he was struck by at least one vehicle. The pedestrian was pronounced deceased at the scene. No other injuries were reported. The investigators believe that the person, who is yet to be positively identified, is believed to be an elderly male who was, new to the area. He was struck by a vehicle initially that stopped and may have been struck by additional vehicles that did not remain at the scene. So the rest of it doesn't matter. So here's a fellow who I guess you could call a senior, 60-ish, walking in the Fruitland area, Fruitland, Stony Creek, you know where it is, area, on the Queen Elizabeth Highway, or on the shoulder, or whatever. Perhaps he was wandering in the middle of the road. It said on the QEW, and is struck by a vehicle. Now that doesn't surprise me. If you're you're doing 100 to 120 kilometers an hour on that stretch of the Queen Elizabeth Highway, and especially at midnight, there's not a lot of traffic, so you might even be going faster than that, minding your own business, driving your car, heading through the Stony Creek, Fruitland, Vineland area, and you're heading toward Niagara, and there's somebody in the middle of the road. Boom! It's understandable that you wouldn't have much time to react, although you would hope that you would. Depending on where, they said walking on the highway. Was he walking on the highway? Was he walking on the shoulder of the road? Where was this man actually walking? But the thing that bothers me beyond the initial contact, which I can kind of understand, although it's horrible, the subsequent vehicles that may have then run over or hit this injured person and they didn't stop. I mean, you would think anybody should stop to see what they hit, because even if you're running over a body or an animal or anything in the road, you're going to feel that on your car. It's not like you can do it and not know that you did something, not know that you hit something. Oh, what was that? Oh, it was a bump, and off I go. No, that doesn't. That doesn't happen. That's the tragedy of this. And how does? I hope they really do investigate this. They always say that police, law enforcement is investigating. I hope they really do, because how does a 61-year-old person end up at midnight on a 400 series highway on a Sunday? How does that happen? And our condolences to his family. One has to perhaps conjecture that, I don't want to put words in the investigators' mouths, but one would have to think that there could be a dementia thing or a disorientation thing or something at play here. And if that's the case, it's sad. So our hearts go out to the family of that man. Kevin, do we have I see we have the lovely streetscape of St. Paul Street in wonderful downtown St. Catharines. there. Do we have a musical guest to play us off yonder stage?
We most certainly do. It is Sean Beanhouse and his song Blue. So Sean is not a Niagara guy, he's from Hamilton.
Okay.
But on Sunday, you can catch him at the old Irish Harp in Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Oh, I love that place.
Yeah, I love the Irish Harp. So he's going to be out there, so I figured I'd feature one of his songs. It's called Blue. He's got an original music video for it, and you can see at the beginning he says that it took him 3 years to complete this thing. So anyway, if you like what he does,
underachiever.
it's a little it's unique. He's an artist. You can tell that.
Grantham Home Hardware, Virgin Insurance Group, WeeStream. Thank you. My name is Lee Sterry. This has been episode 10 of season 7 of Niagara 411 Live with Lee Sterry. Oh, by the way, hi to Nick and Nick's mom from Niagara 411. I haven't done that in a while, Nick's mom. Sorry. It's not for lack of caring. We care deeply about you. And keep your son sending us cool information, okay? Thanks, everybody. And thank you all for contributing to the show. It's a blast to do this. Kevin, always a pleasure. Sean Beanhouse?
Yeah.
Beanhouse?
Beanhouse?
And
Beanhouse?
Blue.
Yeah.
Have a great week and weekend, guys. Bye.
I bought some cigarettes today. Looked in the mirror and I threw them away. I had a little bit to drink. Should've known, should've stopped. No, I shouldn't think. Now I'm blue and I'm blue. Lord, I'm blue. Baby, walk a mile in my shoes. Blue and I'm blue. Lord, what's new? Baby, baby, what am I to do? A therapist, a self-help book, a career guide with a dirty look. Close my eyes, say I don't care. Maybe I should cut off my hair. Spend the night out on the street. Like a dog, I never felt so free. I throw my hands up to the sky. Should've known, should've thought. No, I don't know. Who's that guy staring back at me? Baby, give me all I need. I stay home and I lie in bed and I hear myself right in the head and I say, you're so goddamn deranged. And I go back to bed each night with a fire in my heart and a tear in my eye and I say, good God, it's time to change. It won't stop, it won't stop, it won't stop, it won't stop, it won't stop. No, shut it off. It won't stop, it won't stop, it won't stop, it won't stop, it won't stop. No, shut it off. It won't stop, it won't stop, it won't stop, it won't stop, it won't stop. No, shut it off. It won't stop, it won't stop, it won't stop, it won't stop. I bought some cigarettes today. Looked in the mirror and I smashed the spray. Had a little time to think. Whoa. Will I hit myself in the head? Will I say, good God, it's time to change?